All right, guys. Hey, listen, we have a discovery set. And no, we are not going to be covering all of them and ranking them on one video. We are going to save that for after I get through all of these fragrances. I want to rate them individually, get into our scientific breakdown to let you know, should you buy this fragrance or not? And I want to give proper due diligence to each fragrance individually. This is from the house of Maison Margiela replica line, I believe. It's kind of ambiguous as to which order they try and use. I think replica is just a concept for their line, but it's Maison Margiela. Can you guess which fragrance it is? You don't have to guess. It's in the title. Strap up. All right, let's get straight to it. Welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the afternoon. And the fragrance today is from Maison Margiela, I believe the replica line, or it may not be a replica line, but replica is on every single bottle and they define it. So I'm just trying to give you some word association so you know what fragrance I'm talking about. This is called On a Date. And I had to think about it for a while because I was like, should I do the ones everybody's looking for, by the Fireplace Jazz Club? No, I'm going in order, top to bottom, okay? I don't believe this is every fragrance on the replica segment, but it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 we're going to cover in total, and probably all of the popular ones that I'm familiar with. Now, before I get into initial thoughts on this fragrance, let's see if there's anything special you should know up front. It is a unisex fragrance, and on the bottle it says from, I believe replica is a concept of capturing moments in time, and that's what these fragrances are DNA'd after. Moments in time, whether it's history or concepts, etc. So again, this concept is going on a date, and it says that it's from the provenance and period of Provence 2014. Fragrance description, grapes and roses. Style description, memory in a fragrance. Blah, 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 blah. Cool. I can respect some artsy type of stuff, but at the end of the day, if the fragrance isn't good, the concept goes in the trash with it, right? So let's give initial thoughts, and I'm going to look to see if there's any other special info on the description. Do we have a faulty atomizer here, guys? There we go. Okay. I thought we were going to have to run the episode back for a second. It's nice that they give you 2 ml. It can give you, that'll yield you about 2 or 3 different wearings, which is plenty to figure out if you need to buy a fragrance. 1 ml is always questionable because sometimes they don't always fill the decant. And so it's already short of juice. Sometimes you have to work the sprayer a little bit to get it on. 2 ml is perfectly fine. I got this discovery set at Ross for like $16. So for the Maison Margiela line to figure out what your favorite fragrances are going to be, that's incredible. The description is that On a Date is a floral, fruity fragrance for men and women. This is a new fragrance. It was launched in 2022, fairly new. We don't care about the nose behind it, and I'm not going to go into the top, mid, and bottom yet. Pause. Okay, so this is a very it borders body spray-esque. And before I get into it, I have to be long-winded here because I do want to start by saying I've smelled the entire line, right? And this was a while ago. And I wasn't impressed with it because I felt like a lot of fragrances in the line bordered, female body mists and stuff like that, or just body mists in general. It didn't feel very cologne-y. It was just like scent concepts. And so I didn't like that. I like to wear cologne stuff, I don't, to describe it further, I don't like feeling like this was like a light juice. You know what I'm saying? That just happens to have some waft of fragrance. A lot of body mists, I think that's what it is. A lot of body mists are very singular in note, might have a couple of distinct notes. But I wanted something more developed and more polished. I think that's what I mean by cologne. You could have a simple cologne, but it just has some render to it that feels definitely distinct from body mist, which basically just feels like watery juice. Okay, that being said, this fragrance is fruity floral. And I know that I read that in the description, but they are absolutely accurate. That's what it is. Now, going to what they said in the beginning on the bottle, where they said it was grapes and roses, that's what it is. Now, again, I think this smells, and again, I apologize. I think my kids are outside screaming. So if that's coming through at all, it just is what it is. You guys got to take, my life comes with me. You know what I'm saying? Grapes and roses smells just like it, like a purple grapes, roses with like just kind of a fresh floral, and it's good. It's borderline body mist. Matter of fact, 80% of it feels body misty, but it does feel nice and refined, even though it feels a little synthetic. It is fresh and it is nice. Definitely leans feminine. Let me just say that right now. Definitely, like strongly leans feminine. I can't even think of a scenario that a man would like to wear this. And the more I'm putting my nose to it, the more that I feel this doesn't even belong on a man. Unless he wants to smell like grapes and roses. Men, as I say that in the air, do any of you, the juice is pink. It's called On a Date. It's grapes and roses. Does that even sound like something you want to wear? Probably not. It's a female fragrance, guys. I'm just going to cut to the chase. Let's get into something other than my beautiful face for a second. Oh, you guys are still stuck with my face because I'm on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Okay, anyway, let's go to the notes. Top notes, black currant. I get that, but more grapey and roses than black currant. But I think maybe the black currant might be making it a little more, not earthy, but just more real than synthetic grape and rose. Top, we have pink pepper and bergamot as well. Mid, we have rose, geranium, davana. What is davana? Obviously, it's a green herb, but sharp herb, bitter green note with balsamic undertone. I might be able to get some balsam with this, but not necessarily bitter. It's definitely not bitter. It's fresh body mist, feminine type vibes. A little more natural maybe at best. Patchouli, moss, musk, and vetiver. I get none of that. Absolutely none of that. When you look at this note breakdown, you feel kind of excited because even though rose and grape is kind of feminine leaning, I feel, you know that the florals are going to freshen it up. You think, oh, pink pepper, is there a little bit of bite to it? No, there's no bite at all. And then patchouli and moss is extremely earthy. Musk, obviously, animalic, I believe. Yeah. And then vetiver, I always say that it sophisticates a fragrance, and it's completely absent here. The only thing that maybe all of this does together is maybe beautify the grape and rose, which it is a very nice smell. Don't get me wrong. But as a 35-year-old man, I don't even want to smell this on a woman. I'll be honest with you. If you're a female and you're like a teenager to like maybe like 22, I think you could get away with something like this. This would be like your signature go-to. But women above that, I think you would smell like a kid, essentially. But it is a nice smell, so I give them that much. Rating of this fragrance as a unisex fragrance, I give it like a 4. Not because it smells bad, but because it has it's not truly unisex at all. If I'm judging it based on female, I would call it a 6 or a 7. It's very reminiscent of a body mist, so for that, it's very average, but then the note profile they went with, I think, is very common. This kind of splash of fruity floral is in almost every body mist. So that's kind of sucky. It is a good smell. It's not a bad smelling fragrance, but it just feels too watery in terms of its concentration. It doesn't feel like a perfume, and it's generic in its DNA. It is very fresh. It is very real, but that's not what you're trying to go for when you talk about a fragrance that sits almost around the $140 price point. If I'm looking right now, it retails for $160. The lowest I've seen it for 100 ml is like $90. So yeah, it just kind of is what it is, guys. That's my, there's no other, wonder to a review like this. If you do decide to purchase a fragrance like this, it borderlines any season, any reason, because it's so fresh, even though it is sweet. I do like the balance of sweet with it. It's not overly sweet. It's about a 6 out of 10 in terms of power and sweet. So I do think as far as the sweet note, that is balanced pretty well. Again, strongly feminine leaning. I don't think a man would wear this ever in any scenario, even a young man. Occasions, this would be a woman's everyday scent, or not a woman, a girl's everyday scent. You know, she's going to high school. She might have just got out of high school into college and she loved the smell. So she's going to try to let it rock until somebody tells her she smells like a kid. You know what I'm saying? It would be like her everyday casual. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's really nothing else to talk about. It really sucks. If I think something's like average or better, I feel like talking about it more. But this is very generic. Again, good smell, not knocking your socks off, not a true cologne, expensive price tag. It does match the vibe, like congratulations, does smell like you're on a date. If you're young, grapes and roses, you nailed it. You know what I mean? But not cologne-y smelling. It's just very watery. I don't know, guys. That's just my thoughts. I don't feel like I have anything else interesting to say. Ignore Fragrantica in this case. It's not accurate, okay? There's only like 3 of the notes listed. So with that being said, let me know if you have this fragrance or if you've smelled it on a woman. I doubt that there are any men wearing this, but let me know if you're a man and you wear it so you can disprove me and prove to some other guy out there that's kind of curious about it that men wear this, apparently. Maybe. With that being said, this is Maison Margiela's On a Date, and I think it's a dud. For a young girl, it's a great signature fragrance, but that's all it reminds me of. It's a Bath & Body Works exclusive at best. Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell so you can be notified when I drop every single day. We do community chat. We do lives. We do Rate Your Fragrance. We do Wheel of Fragrance, my game show. We do long-form content, short-form content. Anything you need under the sun, I got y'all covered. This is the Scent Bubble, signing out.